Hello Junior 3, hope you are all fine. In this video we will talk about different types of adaptations. Let's first ask, what does adaptation mean? When something we are doing isn't working, we often do something different. This means we change to fit in the new conditions and situations. We change our behaviors. Another word for change is adapt. For example, when you move from one school to another, you adapt to the new school. And when you move from your country to another country, you adapt to the new cultures, language, and people living around you. Animals and plants also adapt to new conditions and situations. So adaptations are special features that help an animal or a plant to live and survive in certain places and habitats. For example, polar bear has thick fur so it can adapt to living in cold areas. Another example, giraffe. Giraffe has long neck to help it reach leaves on tall trees. The last example, birds. Birds move from one place to another according to the weather. They fly to warm places when it's very cold. So what about plants? How can they adapt? Plants in nature grow in one place and they can't move from one place to another. They can't travel when it's cold to somewhere warm to live. But each plant has traits that help it survive and adapt to its habitat. Let's talk about some plant adaptations. Now let's look at page 24, Acacia Tree and Water Lily. In this page we will learn more about plant adaptations. First plant we will talk about is Acacia Tree. Acacia Tree adapts to living in the desert habitat where it's dry and hot. The main problem would face any plant in the desert is the shortage of water. Acacia tree has an important trait that helps it survive in the desert, as it has very long roots that help it reach deep underground water. The branches have long thorns to stop animals from eating the leaves. This is a picture for the acacia tree in real life. So what are the adaptations for the acacia tree? The acacia tree has long roots to absorb underground water, and it has thorns in its branches to stop animals from eating its leaves. In page 24, draw or stick pictures of the acacia tree. Second plant we will talk about is water lily. Water lily has another name which is lotus. Water lily plant adapts to living in freshwater habitat like rivers. The stems of water lily plants are long and flexible to fix the plants in the mud at the bottom of the water. Water lily has big round leaves that float on the water to absorb the sunlight. The top of the leaf is waxy to keep water out, and the underside of the leaf has thorns to protect it from fish that want to eat it. This is a picture of water lily in real life. So water lily lives in fresh water like rivers and lakes. Water lily has long and flexible stems, as you can see in the picture. It also has big round leaves that absorb sunlight. The leaves are waxy, which means smooth and shiny. And the underside of the leaf has thorns to stop fish from eating the leaves. In page 24, stick or draw pictures of the water lily. Now let's move to page 25, analyzing historical information. We will read the text. The water lily in ancient Egypt. Looking at many hieroglyphics, it's easy to see that the lotus flower is common in ancient Egyptian works. The meaning of the lotus flower is associated with rebirth. This is because it closes up at night and then reopens in the sun the next day. The ancient Egyptians associated the lotus flower with the sun, which also disappeared in the night only to reappear in the morning. Therefore, the lotus came to symbolize the sun and the creation. So the water lily was common in most of the ancient Egyptians' work, which means it was found in many of them. The word ancient means very, very old. The ancient Egyptians associated or linked the lotus flower with rebirth. Rebirth means death, then being alive again, and have a new life with new beginnings. The ancient Egyptians linked the water lily with rebirth, as it closes at night when there is no sun, and it opens in the morning when the sun is up, as if the water lily dies at night and wakes up again in the morning. This is a picture for the water lily in the morning. This is a picture for the water lily at night when it closes. Let's return back to page 25 and read the first question. What do you learn about the water lily from this textbook excerpt? The answer is water lily symbolizes the rebirth for ancient Egyptians as it closes at night and opens in the morning. The next question, who do you think created this source? The answer is ancient Egyptians. Now look at the artwork in the second box. What do you learn about the water lily from this artwork? The answer is the water lily was so important for ancient Egyptians. Who do you think created this source? The answer is ancient Egyptians. Now let's look at page 26. Look at the first picture. What do you learn about the water lily from this photograph? It lives on the surface of water and has round leaves. Who do you think created this source? The answer is scientists. Look at the last three pictures in the page. What do you learn about the water lily from these artifacts? The answer is ancient Egyptians appreciated the water lily because for them it was symbol of rebirth. Who do you think created these sources? The answer is archaeologists. The archaeologist is a person who studied the history and monuments. Page 27. Blubber. Let's read the experiment. Number 1. Place one hand in an empty plastic bag and the other in the double-walled shortening bag. Number 2. Place both hands with the bags over them into the ice water for a few seconds. Number 3. Do your hands feel the same or different in each bag? Record your observations. Number 4. Take the temperature of the inside of each bag by placing the bulb of the thermometer at the bottom of the bags, one at a time. Wait a few minutes and record the temperature. Repeat for the other bag. The observation is the temperature inside the single bag is less than the temperature inside the double bag. The double bag worked as an insulator that decreases the movement of heat from the inside of the bags to the surrounding environment. Double bag represent the blubber layers in polar bear, which helps it not to feel the cold. Page 29. All about blubber. Blubber means thick fat layer. In the hands-on activity, vegetable shortening is used to represent blubber in the body. Vegetable shortening is a solid fat at room temperature. Like other fats, it's a great insulator. An insulator slows the movement of heat. When you feel cold, heat is moving from your body to the environment. When you put your hand in the shortening bag and then in the ice water, your hand stays warm. You likely don't feel the icy cold water in the bowl. This is because the heat from your hands moves slowly into the shortening. When you put your hand in the empty bag and then into the water, you immediately feel cold. The heat from your hand moves quickly into the ice water. An animal without enough insulation from fat, blubber, or fur might lose too much heat. If an animal's body temperature gets too low, it will not be able to move and live normally. Fat and blubber are very important to animals around the world. The bodies of animals in cold climates have adapted over the course of many generations. Cold climate animals might have other adaptations too. Some can shiver to keep their muscles warm. Some fluff their feathers to trap warm air near the body. Some animals also have thick fur and extra layers of insulating blubber so less heat escapes the body. So there are many ways animals can adapt to cold environments. Animals can shiver to keep their body warm. They can fluff their fur, or they can have thick fur and layers of blubber like the polar bear. This is the end of our video. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye.